Welcome to Beyond the Trailer's coverage of the 2012 Academy Awards, giving you an in-depth look at the top categories. And be sure to cast your vote for who you think should win in our poll at tinyurl.com/BTT Oscar Vote 2012. There's even a write-in section, as this year the Oscars are snub central. Now let's take a look at the second half of the 9 nominees for Best Picture.
Midnight in Paris.
Man, when it rains, it pours! After a 15-year drought, with a tiny drop of water in 2006 for his Matchpoint screenplay, Woody Allen is finally back on the Academy's radar. Not only is Midnight in Paris the most financially successful movie of his career, but it's now also one of his most critically acclaimed, with 4 Oscar nominations, trailing behind Annie Hall, which had 5, and Hannah and Her Sisters, which had 7. Yes, the Academy loves Woody Allen. He's the Meryl Streep of the screenwriting category, with 15 nominations and 2 wins. But for some reason, he's not so crazy about the Academy. Despite all his nominations, Allen has only attended the ceremony once to encourage films to shoot in New York City after September 11th. And considering that he didn't show up for this year's Golden Globes, even though he won Best Screenplay, odds are he won't be showing up for the Oscars either. Yet while it's unlikely Midnight in Paris will win Best Picture, count on even an absentee Allen to have either the Best Director or Best Screenplay Oscar mailed to him.
Moneyball.
Now again, as I noted while discussing the first half of the Best Picture nominees, this is the problem with having 9 of them. Moneyball is not going to win. In fact, it hasn't won any Best Picture awards this year, and has been trending toward the bottom of most critics' top 10 lists. On top of that, producer Scott Rudin has most likely already called in all of his Oscar favors to get his other movie, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, a nomination in the same category. This nomination is pure Hollywood lip service, and all it does is lengthen and dilute an already overbloated ceremony. Quite frankly, it's unlikely that Moneyball will walk away with anything on Oscar night. And while it's sad to see what was once a frontrunner fall so far behind the rest of the pack, we don't see J. Edgar getting any penny nominations, do we?
The Tree of Life.
Since it premiered at the Cannes Film Festival, The Tree of Life has been polarizing, with the festival audience both applauding and booing when it was over. Even awards shows have been divided by the film, with the smaller ones praising it and the mainstream ones, like the Golden Globes, ignoring it. Well, it seems the Academy seeks to end the debate, as only the Oscars can. The Tree of Life has received 3 nominations, although interestingly none for its 2 actors who were both praised for their performances, and are both nominated for other films this year to boot. And like Midnight in Paris, while it's unlikely The Tree of Life will win this category, don't expect to see it walk away empty-handed on Oscar night.
War Horse.
Earlier this year, I personally chose War Horse as my favorite film of 2011. My runner-up was Rise of the Planet of the Apes, so obviously the Academy and I aren't in sync. You know what else is obvious? That this film has as much a chance of winning this category as a real horse had surviving World War I. In fact, War Horse seems to have been handicapped as soon as it came out of the gate, both with audiences and the Oscars. Perhaps that has something to do with the turmoil in Disney's marketing department, with head honcho M.T. Carty being forced out just as War Horse was released. Rumor is that Spielberg is pretty upset with studio chief Rich Ross, who didn't consult him on Carney's firing, or her replacement. Geez, who lets a Spielberg movie fall through the cracks? And with only 1 major nomination and a weak box office haul, that's exactly what Disney did. And that's the second half of the 2012 Best Picture nominees. You can click here to take a closer look at the first half. Who do you think deserves the Oscar? Leave your comments down below, and don't forget to vote in the Beyond the Trailer Oscar poll. It closes on February 18th. I'm Grace Randolph, and I hope you'll check out the rest of BTT's Oscar coverage.